back at the About Us page with a different strategy. So I started putting in some of the images by myself and deleting some of the DTs, and then I realized that some of the things I was doing might be interesting for you to watch. So here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove the all of the DDs and the /DDs using the Find menu in brackets. Actually, I'll just bring up the Replace and say that I'm just going to search for DDs and replace all with nothing. And then I'm going to do it one more time with the /DD. Replace all. So that's cleaned up quite a bit. I'm just going to delete these. Okay. So while I was fixing people's pictures, I realized that I was doing something that you might that I'd like to remind you of. So for example, I would take Keith Johnson and copy Keith Johnson's information down to do Rhonda's image. And then of course I don't want it to be Keith, so I will back up here. Just to remind you, if you're here at this at a place where I know that I can get a hint and brackets will pop up a list of files for me, hold the Control key down and tap the space bar. And now I can go through and find Rhonda's image very quickly and easily. So Control Space will bring up those hints for you. Okay, so now that we're back, this is what it will look like now with no DLs and DTs, so a big mess basically. What would I do? Well, if I'm not going to use DTs and DLs, what I might do is group these with some heading tags and then a list of items. Heading tag, list of items. This would be, I think, a little bit easier from a styling standpoint later on down the line. So this is what I'm envisioning. Maybe I'm already using H2 for, well, not in this page. On the other page, I use H2 for a section heading. So it would be okay to use H2 here. I might call it an H3 though. Just because I know in the index page I've used H2 as a section header. It's not. Later on we'll see some better ways to enforce the sizing of things. I want this to be some kind of heading for the person maybe, and then an unordered list underneath. What I choose for the heading size isn't going to end up being like the most important thing in the world. I just want to say it's probably not the most important thing on the page, certainly, and so maybe it's the third most important thing on the page. So this is what I'm thinking of doing. Right, copy and paste is my friend here. There and there and there. And then end that UL for that person so that each person has a UL under. So it would look something like this. So this is my current idea. This doesn't have to look beautiful. It just has to be organized. There's also nothing wrong with doing it as a description list as I did before. This is just another option that would be, I think, equally fine. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing here. I'll leave that to you, but that would be my second idea for what to do. In the next video, I will have completed this section and we'll do the jump links.